Johnny O, you asked for evidence. I'm going to give you evidence. We're going to give you a timeline from 2006 when this all started till its present date. I'm an independent filmmaker and a documentarian. I'm also an activist, a community activist. You can check with Richard Sher, the first story they did on me, Hard Look. I'm a community activist and I'm an activist on mass incarceration in the prison industry, the war on drugs. You feel me? We're going to talk about audits. This is how long we've been doing this. July 2005. My activism is about policing the police and the politicians. All right? It's about Governor O'Malley and his 2010 campaign. All right? That's Governor O'Malley. That's Governor Hogan. I'm a whistleblower. And I blew the whistle on February the 2nd, 2008. I blew the whistle on Governor O'Malley. Zero tolerance, stop and frisk. And I asked for an audit. Forged checks. All right. That's my case number. You feel me? That's my ID number. So Johnny Olszewski, I already got paperwork in the Department of Justice. Scott Shellenberger got the paperwork too. That toilet was about Scott Shellenberger. That toilet was artwork and evidence against Scott Shellenberger, Governor O'Malley, and 52 of the politicians that participate in getting paid off the illegal war on drugs. That's the director of the IRS. I got a shorty program. And my store was funding my nonprofit. It's called philanthropy. I didn't need to have a 501. I was doing it out of my pocket. You feel me? So the IRS, a federal and a state audit. That's 2009, Division of Parole and Probation. Because like I said, this is about parole and probation. I went home on vacation. I came back on probation. I was held illegally. I was kidnapped. You feel me? I was kidnapped. That's Lake County. And this is what you charged me with. This was a warning sign right here. Bomb threat forces evacuation of the county building. On this day, it says right here, Solicitation Riley Cole. All right. Judge Rossetti held up green leafy substance and a vial of white powder. Yeah, you had the cocaine and you had the weed, but I wanted the books. I wanted the paperwork. Because see, after 20 years, I was found innocent of all charges. So I could get my property back. You feel me? It's about your war on drugs. And this is me. The man believed to be 47 indicated he wanted that return. Rossetti recommended that he hire an attorney. No, that's how I won my case. I got a right to represent myself and self-representation. I don't need to hire a lawyer because I'm not going to pay to play your politics. You feel me? Now, you locked me up when I came back to get my paperwork and when I came to file a $2.5 billion class action lawsuit. You feel me? That's my producer. That's Rob Fix, and he got plenty of film footage for the last 13 years. Like I said, this is parole and probation. This is a petition for revocation. They wanted to send me back to Illinois, and I refused to go back. Just like Dred Scott. I told you the movie is about Dred Scott. I refused to go back. You ordered me you had a court order. You feel me? At which time you must appear in front of a warrant would be arrest. I told you come arrest me, because if you arrest me, you got to give me a court date. You give me a court date, we got to have a trial. We have a trial, we got a jury. We got a jury, the truth come out. I refused to come back. And I contacted Condoleezza Rice. You feel me? I contacted my public officials. The same number of troops losing in the war on terror. All right. We losing in the war on drugs in the black community. You feel me? If Martin Luther King were alive, would he stand up? What would Malcolm X do? I know Jesus wept. I picked up the cross 21 years ago. Let me free and send me back to Africa. Yeah, I was willing to give up my citizenship because this war on drugs ain't nothing but slavery reinvented. And I want my freedom. And this is fighting for my freedom. That's Judge Bridges. All right. The FBI and various members of the Illinois and Maryland Senate and Congress have a judiciary hearing concerning my false imprisonment 12/24/2007 and an appeal of the conviction 6/2/2008. I have filed proper paperwork with the courts, the attorney, Waller, Judge Boris, and my lawyer, Mr. Bailey, all of whom refused to respond to my mail and Freedom of Information Act. Dog, I told you I wasn't coming back to Illinois. I told you I wanted to take this to the Supreme Court, just like Dred Scott. I was a slave in one state and I'm a free man in another. You kidnapped me to keep me from exposing the corruption in Lake County. That's the truth, and you can't hide from it. You feel me? The terms of my probation. Yeah, I violated the terms of my probation on purpose. That's Chief Justice Starks, Lake County. That's the case number from Illinois, 86 CF. That's the war on drugs. I was turning in your corruption in your judges and your lawyers in Lake County, Illinois. And ain't nothing that you can do about it. 1988, Appellant Division. I was found innocent of all those charges. Look that case up. And when you referred to that case, that was fruit from the forbidden tree. You feel me? Better check it out. Because my paperwork is crossed. My I's is dotted. My T's is dotted. If the state's attorney, Boris, would have shared this information, would have never been within the Department of Corrections, I should only have received probation at best. Check the various dates of the diary and the entries. I was held for 120 days on a court-ordered lockdown, 23 hours in, 1 hour out. Cruel and unusual punishment prior to conviction. I was held in the same area as Alton Coleman. All right? Convicted child molester and murderer. I only turned in guns and drugs. Leza can tell you. All right? That's Chief Justice Starks. I'm respectfully asking the courts. Commissioner Belfield. Yeah, Commissioner Belfield had this too. 2010, city police shoot. Yeah. There goes Mr. Waller. Because like I said, I was kidnapped by Waller and I was kidnapped by Shellenberger. That's my store on Falls Road. This is legal written notice of intent to bring Judge Boris in front of the 9th Judiciary Court for theft. Under same statute, I was convicted in 1986. He is in possession of organized papers, pledge sheets, and $15,000 in cash. Yeah, you was robbing a drug dealer, except I wasn't a drug dealer. I was a community activist. The $15,000 is what my mother gave me to get my business started. You feel me? I had pledge sheets and organizational papers. You feel me? And you had this information long before I got locked up. Lake County Board had it. Wenice Weller of the Chicago FBI, and Washington, D.C. Assistant Attorney General Wayne Kim, Washington, D.C. You feel me? That's Governor Blagojevich. If Blagojevich can go to jail, so can O'Malley and his machine. If Blagojevich can go to jail, so can they. You getting rich off of stop and frisk and zero tolerance. Like I said, that's Mr. Waller. Hello, sir. I wish to formally introduce myself. My name is Shorty. You feel me? NAACP, U.S. Attorney Mr. Sutton, and Jason. Officer Jason took my statement when I turned myself in after y'all locked me up and held me. You feel me? I came to Officer Jason, the FBI, and I gave a statement. Go to Mr. Jason from the FBI and get my statement. Go to Mr. Nearham. Like I said, I want all this documented. You ask for evidence, I'm giving you evidence. There goes mail receipt. There goes mail receipt. These are the supporters of Shorty. Petitioning the governor, just like Dred Scott. I petitioned the governor. These are white people fighting for a black man, just like Dred Scott. White people. See the addresses? This ain't down Baltimore City. This Baltimore County. This Baltimore County. That's why Olszewski got to deal with this. 21222. You feel me? This Baltimore County. Marriottsville Road. You feel me? Jacksonville. These are the supporters of Shorty's. 3 Rises Court. You asked for evidence, I'm giving you what you asked for. I'm giving you what you asked for. And these aren't repeats. And I want what I want. And this is what I want. Intellectual property. That's my intellectual property. I want everything that belongs to me. My standing in the community. My store on Falls Road. Because I filed the proper paperwork. You can go to Brown and Ullman. They got the paperwork too. You feel me? So, Johnny O, I'm going to give you this tonight at your event. You can have this. Because Judge Souter got all this. I'm going to show you how long I've been doing this, since 2004. We're going to expose the corruption and the racism in your courts, because the black community is in crisis. We suffering behind this illegal war on drugs. You bring a new police commissioner, dog, all he going to do is go after blacks, Hispanics, and poor whites. He going to let the white-collar criminals and the white-collar gorilla family go. Well, if he come, he got to investigate everybody. If they commit a crime, they can go to jail. You commit a crime, you can go to jail. You are not above the law. And I got enough evidence to put you where you need to be. You feel me? These are the people that knew about it. And that's when I started. Governor O'Malley, that's it. The Get Shorty program. Civil and Criminal Division of the Department of Justice. These are the false charges that Shellenberger charged me with, outside of the terrorism charges. You feel me? He tried to violate my parole and my probation. I wouldn't even out a good whatever. He tried to violate my parole and probation. And here go the cases, because like I said, I turned this into the States Attorney's Office on February the 2nd. February the 2nd, I turned this in. And that covered those cases. 07CF, yeah. That's David Irwin. That's a search warrant. You feel me? And that's the court that ordered my property returned, custodial records. The entire contents of the defendant's vehicle, 1999 Chevy Suburban. Well, you got to pay me for the Suburban. You got to pay me for the contents of the Suburban. You got to compensate me for my losses. You mad because I was making a movie. This movie is by Rob Fix. And this movie has all these people in it. You know what I'm saying? This movie has all these people in it. Paul Weinblatt, Karen Park, Scott Shellenberger, Francott, Governor O'Malley, Adam May, Kai Jackson, Sheriff Fisher. Alright? Because the movie is authentic. It's called Baltimore Rewired. And ain't nothing that you can do to stop this. Commissioner Belfield, Mary Platt-Cart, Jack Young, Bill Henry. You feel me? Carl Stokes, Senator Broshini, Kathleen, Senator Pugh, Judge Pearson, Judge Bell. Because we're going to talk about the courts and the racism in the courts. Ain't no law against making a movie. That toilet is evidence and artwork. Evidence of the corruption under the Governor O'Malley's administration. You feel me? When he created the O'Malley mom machine. Ain't no law against making a movie. It's called Baltimore Rewired. And ain't nobody going to get a break. When I see you in the streets, I'm going to put the camera in your face. I'm going to ask you 21 questions. Why did you lie to the grand jury? You feel me? Certification of service. Yeah, you was delivered this. You feel me? Y'all was delivered that. That's what this all about. An inmate. And if you look over here, I'm white. I'm the blackest white man you know. And the whitest black man you'll ever see. You feel me? This is about mass incarceration in your prison industry. It's about the products and services that you make. You make over $500 million a year in the state of Maryland. Like I said, I was insured. Just like Dred Scott. I own shorties. I own me. So you got to deal with it. I ran for office to bring this to the head, to bring this out. And I filed my paperwork with the IRS already. They gave me an audit. They told me I got to go to the state, and the state got to audit me. That's Mosby. That's the Department of Justice. I don't want nobody to say that they are not informed. So when you go do what you got to do, we want to get this done correctly. I don't want nobody left out the loop to say that they didn't know. That's House Bill 3. That's House Bill 74. That's about the jury pool. You feel me? And that's Johnny Olszewski's ceremony. You ask for evidence, I'm going to give you more than you can stand. You signed for this. 12/11/2018. You signed for this. My insurance administration. October 15, 2018. Credibility. A judge or a jury in a civil and a criminal venue That's right. They authorizing me to go to a criminal and a civil division. And that's what I want. You feel me? That's what I want. I responded already. That's identity theft, credit card fraud, Baltimore Circuit Courts. Y'all had this. You feel me? Y'all had this. December 2010. Before I got locked up, y'all had this. Dwayne G. Davis, Shorty's Underground Ribs. That's right, I'm claiming that. Johnny O, you got this? I don't want you to misunderstand none of this, because you asked for the evidence, I'm giving it to you. Every day I'm going to give you so much evidence, you ain't going to have a choice. Evidence I will be submitting will be informed emails, legal emails. Evidence I will be submitting would be in forms of emails and legal materials sent to Scott Shellenberger, Baltimore County Court, States Attorney, Judge Turnbull, Judge Cox, Governor O'Malley, Peter Francott, Doug Gansler, Brian Frost, Attorney General, from 2006 to the present date concerning this issue. Also on film footage and movie releases. Rob Fix Production. Letters Design. Alright? That's the criminal case. Alright? I'm not a lawyer, but I know how to defend myself. I'm a jailhouse lawyer. N62528. State